Yeah. Turn me up. Yeah. Hey, check it. Okay, I feel unstoppable. Losing's impossible. Go against the team, the thing they know not to do. Bright lights, game on the line, do what I gotta do. Time after time, we do the impossible. You ain't made it till you got stylers go out and shop for you. You ain't made it till they put on top of you. Parading through the city, the whole block come out for you. We just getting started, y'all finna see what we bout to do. Boy, stop, you ain't here, I'm the real truth. Hunters, real blues, trips on them still new. Shopping at Dover Street, I'm dripping like mildew. They say the impossible. It felt like yesterday, I was just driving my grandma's Chevrolet from South Carolina to Maryland. I take the jet today. I'm still on the come up, I'm still building my resume. I still got a lot to prove, but still I'm heavyweight. I still got a...
We are down on the bayou as you get a look inside the Superdome here in New Orleans. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Los Angeles Rams and the New Orleans Saints. Two teams here fresh off week 1 victories who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Takes it across the 40-yard line. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Well, there you go. This offense off to a strong start this afternoon.
Yeah, with a big run and a first down. That's putting what you practice into play. That's excellent execution to get things started.
They'll try the jet sweep. Stafford pops it forward. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
From the 45 on second down, Stafford going back to Allen. He's got him again. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. This defense for the Saints, terrific last week in the season opening victory.
I have to admit I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. Well, whatever script they put together for this offensive drive, Charles, seems to be working. I'm curious to see if this defense will make any adjustments here.
Things certainly going according to plan, aren't they? I mean, the way they're advancing the football, it's like they're on the practice field having one of their better days. But instead, it's game day, and they're moving the ball downfield with purpose.
Escaping the pressure right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Sacked there by Jadeveon Clowney.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, and a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off. Maybe some screens, maybe some draws, hard count, use your voice inflection a little bit, anything to try and slow that pressure down.
And he's going to get this down near the 25.
There's another example where defensive coaches constantly preach, not allowing any run after the catch. They gave up a few more yards than they wanted to, but they were able to get him down quickly and force a fourth down.
Fourth down, and we go from one mat to another. Stafford heads off. Matt Gay gets set for the Rams field goal. Gay's kick is good, and the Rams have the first points here. It's 3-0. And all in all, a pretty decent opening drive, Charles. Pretty balanced. They had the passing game going and the rushing attack, too.
I would think they have to be happy with that start because you get your ground game going, which means your offensive line and your runners are pretty happy, and then you get your aerial attack going as well, so your quarterback and receivers have smiles on their faces. Now both up to speed, awaiting their next possessions for this game. They can't wait to get started again.
And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up second down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Looking to throw. Coleman. There's Chris Olave. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards, good for the Saints, first down. The Saints at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And they've gotten a pretty good deal from the schedule makers as well. Home dates in Weeks 1 and 2.
And I would believe that they would need to take advantage of that, partner, because as you can imagine, the road dates will pile up later this season. So this is a great opportunity for them to put some early distance on the rest of the division and create a little bit of a cushion for them for later in the year.
Taken down at the 42.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Kamara gets it again on second down. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
The Rams calling on their nickel set here defensively for third down. Back to throw. Goldman. And this will complete to Will Fuller. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Give him 30 yards there.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop it right around the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
It always helps when you get great run support from your safeties, and when you get one who can actually read the play and get upfield and shut it down before it gets going, that's exactly what you're looking for.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He completes it to Olave. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. Well, no question, this is exactly how they wanted to start this football game. And Nice pass there, and now they're set up beautifully, Charles, to finish this off with a touchdown.
Yeah, but they've still got to finish it off, partner, and that means they've got to execute at this stage of the field. So we've seen many teams march it right to the goal line and not cash in. They've got something dialed up here that puts it in the end zone.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal. Defense doing their job, really nowhere to run the football.
Yeah, it's almost textbook, wasn't it? Every place he tried to find an open spot, there just wasn't one. Congrats to the defense, no gain.
Call fitting your gaps, right?
I love it. They're exactly right.
And this is intercepted. He was trying to get it to Davis. Picked off by David Long. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. The 20. And he will bring it back. It's an interception return for a Rams touchdown.
They were in a very good position to come up with a go-ahead score there. A really good drive. Instead, it turns into 6 points going the other way. Psychologically, I don't know what that's going to do to them.
So as a coach, you're looking at that as at least a 10-point swing, right? Because they had the field goal in their back pocket.
They certainly did, and you're right. At least a 10-point swing, maybe more.
10-0 to score after one on EA Sports. Gay now set to kick it off. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Off-play action. Goldman sliding out of the pocket. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Leonard Floyd, the old Georgia Bulldog, finding his way into the backfield. Well, they sent him on the blitz from that linebacker spot. And, boy, he got there quickly.
He certainly did, and obviously he could have used a block from his running back, but I think you nailed it right there. The defender got to the backfield so fast.
Under pressure, and they got to him again. The perennial Pro Bowler Aaron Donald gets the sack.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing, the O-line coach will.
It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
On 1st down, Stafford here. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the 1st down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Stafford going to give this to Akers. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 40 yards rushing for him now, just his first 3 carries. His first carry of their 2nd drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their 1st drive, Really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
Tackle there going to Marshawn Lattimore.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field, but his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
Stafford's throw there complete to Allen. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Open man right side is Kupp, complete. Touchdown, Rams. Cooper Kupp, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. And now the throw going to Fuller, and he's got it. Touchdown! Will Fuller, 35 yards. Tristan Vizcaino for the extra point. And it's 17-7. As things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. So already not the best of kick returns there, but that penalty, that adds insult to injury and backs him up even closer to the goal line.
Yeah, not ideal field position to begin a drive, is it? Because the extra pressure now goes on the offense. They've got to get some early yards and get away from the shadow of their own goalposts. What every offense wants to do in this situation, get 2 first downs to help out with field position at the least.
They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
Now this is an example of breaking down in defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
From the 31, Stafford. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up the 3rd down.
Checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. A few things better than a big man interception. You can always tell right when they get the football, there's that level of excitement and nervousness nervousness and also like, what the heck do I do with this thing?
And you say, no better sight? Well, not for the quarterback to just throw it. It's bad enough to throw a pick, but to throw one to the big guy? But you're right about that. Now what do I do with it? But what's fun about it is you know they're going to be in the film room after this ball game, telling all their teammates, maybe I should shift over to offense. I've got skills. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I always find myself cheering for them after they intercept it. Unfortunately here, he couldn't make it into the end zone. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Jalen Ramsey. And the Rams are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ballgame.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Stafford now to throw. Minus 9 yards on the play, and now it's 3rd down. Throwing is Stafford. They'll set up the screen here to Akers. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. 4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. That's taken on the 25. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. And the Rams are going to take possession of the football. Boy, sir, another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
He'll check this down to Akers out of the backfield. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. It's a gain of 11 and a 1st down, L.A.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They'll run on 1st down with Akers. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guys at the cornerback position.
Off of play action, here's Stafford. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. That's a quick stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. In their mind, certainly a field goal try would be a letdown. They had the great starting field position, now facing third down. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up fourth down.
And Gay knocks this one through, and that will open the lead up now to 20-7. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, no kneeling for them. They decided they weren't going to run out the clock. They decided to take their shot downfield, hoping to either make a connection or a pass interference call. They wanted more points to put on the board.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. He's going to take another shot here. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And he will bring it back. It's an interception return for a Rams touchdown.
Well, that's what you get, apparently, when you try to take on a Pro Bowl cornerback. And what a play there to make the interception and also bring it back for 6.
And he is so good that we've seen teams absolutely stay away from throwing the ball at him. Here, he's just reading the quarterback's eyes the entire way, makes a great play on the football, and turns it into 6.
Here's Gay now to add the extra point. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3. And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey.
And the Saints are going to take possession of the football.
How big is that penalty? Wipe out the INT.
You'd hate to be the teammate that caused that penalty and wiped out the interception. You got to face that guy in the locker room. Not a lot of fun for you, and you hurt your squad.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Goldman.
He'll get this one underneath to Kamara. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
On 1st and 10, Goldman. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. Yeah, no question. He got to the QB late, CD, and that's going to get a flag every time.
Every single time. Because let's face it, the league is always going to have an emphasis on these calls. They want to take care of these quarterbacks who are in vulnerable positions when they're passing them.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Goldman. He's got Fuller. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20.
That's a good bounce back play right there after taking a sack on 1st down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
On 3rd and short, going with their tight end. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
And now before this 4th and 2 play comes to fruition, they're going to think about it and call a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. On 4th down, Goldman. And my goodness, another interception. And the Rams force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for them. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
2nd down, they'll go with Akers again. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 85 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They'll go again here with Akers. And he's going to have a Rams 1st down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line. He's turning in a pretty impressive performance running the football and a big reason why they have this nice lead.
And in days gone by, we would clip this out and put it up on the refrigerator. Wouldn't we clip out the box score?
Nowadays, not too many newspapers out there. Maybe you screenshot it online.
And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Down to the 25. Making the play defensively, Carl Lawson.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it.
And good running, going to get this down close to a first at the Saints' 18-yard line. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And Akers, he is not going to get there. They mark him short of the first. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage. But you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
Gay's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the defense able to force the interception, and the offense working their way into field goal range and able to get 3 out of it.
Yeah, and give them credit for that. They took the ball, maneuvered it downfield, and while they couldn't get exactly what they wanted, which was a touchdown, they did get 3 points out of it, so they paid off what the defense gave them. Both sides to be thrilled with that.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. As this offense takes the field against CD. Remember, last drive, they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half. He's got a man complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. That one good for 37 yards. Now, look, you're not going to be able to get this all back at once, but that certainly helps.
So you're saying 3 yards in a cloud of dust, not the strategy?
I go aerial attack.
Yeah, I think that's what has to happen. And if you're going to run it, you need to break off big chunks. We just saw a big play right there. They need plenty of those.
Uncorks one for Davis. And now here's another interception. Picked off by David Long. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense.
Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety.
Every team has plays in their book to try and buy some room when a safety's on the table. But a big variable is how does each team deal with the pressure of executing in those situations. In this case, they didn't, and they gave up 2 points.
And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to. And my goodness, another interception. And the Rams will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. 130 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Going right back to Akers. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
That's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a 3rd down.
3rd and 2, Stafford.
Man open, it's Kupp. He's got it. And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. This offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10. They'll give this to Akers running right. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
Off the fake to Akers. Here's Stafford. That's out to the flat for Akers. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Well, a clear running situation, trying to take time off the clock. He ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they had shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Akers is going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. So, Charles, they are well on their way to a 2-0 start. Now, last week, they had the close victory. This one more commanding, much more comfortable.
Well, the sense we got from them was that last week they felt like they didn't play their best. They got the win, but they weren't really on top of their game. But they put it all together here in this one, haven't they? What an impressive, impressive performance.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
He's letting this one go for Fuller. And, boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again, Goldman. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23. Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now. And now here is another interception. And the Rams are going to take over here up near the 40. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do. Late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed and being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
The Rams on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 4. They'll try and run for this with Akers. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. 152 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. On 1st down, they'll stay with Akers on the ground. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
And he is going to lose yardage here. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. And Gay knocks this one through. Charles, even as long field goals become more and more common, this is still a very rarefied error. Only just over 20 field goals have been kicked from 60 yards or further, and you can add his name to the list now.
And as calm as he tried to present himself, there's no doubt there were some nerves as he lined up to attempt that kick. But once the ball was snapped, he just swept the leg, and boom, over the crossbar.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Goldman. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by David Long.
Well, let's face it, Brandon, they're down here in the second half. Want to try and make something happen, and if you're the guy with the ball in your hands, you're going to try even harder. Because I think all he was trying to do was to get outside the pocket and see if he can find a big play downfield.
They try and run on 1st down, but to no avail. Tackle for a 2-yard loss in the backfield.
You know, it's become cliche, but we have seen it and observed it. When runners have days like what we're seeing right now, they often take their offensive linemen out for steaks afterwards, don't they? They all go buy them dinner. But after a play like that,
They might reduce it, might go to the corner and just grab a hot dog or two, huh?
Hey, I mean, they've still been blocking for him well in this game. They don't get one mulligan up front.
Okay, so what we're saying then is we're going petite filet instead of porterhouse. How's that?
8 ounces good.
All right, just checking.
It'll be a first down for the Rams there on a pickup of 18. A give up the middle to Akers. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Second down, they'll go with Akers again. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. So the L.A. Rams with a victory here. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you can just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you saw them deflate with every series, didn't you? Every time they ran onto the field, it was slower and slower to get to the football because they just felt like if we go out there, we're just going to turn it over anyway. So it was really a stellar performance.
So for L.A., it's a dream start. 2 wins in 2 early road games. And they'll have another road date next week with the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take.
Let me show you how to be a star. Let me show you how to go far. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to be a star. Yeah, pull up with a baddie in a fancy car. How to party like a rock star and play guitar like a superstar. Yeah, and I'm so tired of them playing with me. Yeah, pushing my buttons, this ain't no game to me. Yeah, ain't got time to be explaining me. Yeah, I'ma just take over the game, baby. Yeah, let me show you how to be a star. Let me show you how to go far. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to raise the bar, how to go large, how to take it too far. Let me show you how to show up and show out and surf the crowd. Trust me, you ain't never seen nothing like this. You ain't never been to a show like this. I'ma give you something to remember forever. Yeah, and I'm so tired of them playing with me. Yeah, pushing my buttons, this ain't no game to me. Yeah, ain't got time to be explaining me. Yeah, I'ma